Look at it. Black Power Group claims responsibility, warns of more assassinations. 5 cops shot dead in Dallas. Suspect wanted to kill white people. The end is coming. This big apocalyptic race war that MTV through the rap groups have been promoting. Total CIA. Oh, look, New York newspaper talks about civil war. Civil war. How much have I warned you of that plan? This is how the globalists bring down other nations, Ukraine and other areas. This is what they do over and over again. And now they're activating the UN program, the Strong Cities Initiative, run by Loretta Lynch, saying we're going to come in with the UN in every major city and set up programs to monitor the police and reform them. So the police are being told, we're going to kill you, we're going to shoot you, we're going to activate the media to hype up mentally ill people, to go out and carry out basically a leftist communist destabilization program. And the answer is, we're going to bring in the UN and the feds to control you and run you, because it's your fault groups are out there shooting cops in the back of the head when they pump gas or change some old lady's tire or are out there at a demonstration. And in this climate, they then, of course, will now be able to target the Second Amendment and blame it. Obama's already doing that. Jesse Jackson's blaming Trump. This is an orchestrated, admitted plan by the globalists led by George Soros and his minion, Barack Obama, to destabilize this country. They mean to terrorize the public and local governments into capitulating to Loretta Lynch's Strong Cities UN initiative. And once the local departments have been globalized and federalized, then they can move forward with persecuting American citizens for their political beliefs. It's now in the Democratic Party's official platform to arrest climate change deniers and to go after people for their free speech. This is how America falls. We are witnessing it right now, going into the final months of Obama's administration. What's better than 9 dead cops, 10 dead cops? What's better than 10 dead cops, 11 dead cops, up to 20? Bang, bang, you're dead, just as the new Black Panther Party says. All Ford Foundation funded. We've sent undercover reporters as part of a 2-year investigation to their events and to their meetings. We're now ready to let them know we've been doing that. And it is university professors there. It is the police review board involved. It is the city of Austin through their operatives and through UN funding and the Justice Department, the Strong Cities Initiative that is funding the new Black Panther Party, the communist, the Maoist, the Red Guard, you name it. And they are exactly lockstep, whether I see them in LA or whether I see them in Cleveland, Ohio, or Austin, Texas. And you have to understand something. I want to reform the problems in police because tyranny will come to your door in a uniform many times. But I don't hate cops on average, and we have some of the best police in the world here in the U.S. And on average, there's some of the most patriotic folks who really care about what's happening. Now, I'm not in some butt-kissing fest with the police, but I'll tell you this right now. I do not support people randomly saying, go up and shoot cops in the back of the head, when we have in the last week at least 8 dead cops, 4 shot just in the last 24 hours. And new numbers are coming in all the time. And people are just being executed. Police officers are pumping gas. They're getting shot in the back of the head. Police officers are writing a ticket. They're being shot in the head. Police officers are at a wreck scene. They're being shot in the back of the head. They're being executed by cowards. And this will be used then to further militarize the police, so the globalists coming in to federalize them will finally have a paramilitary army ready to go after the patriots. So the communists provide the stimuli. Black Lives Matter and Soros provide the stimuli and the leadership to attack the police. Then their funding will be shut down. Down the road. This has happened in other countries. And the police who've now been militarized into death squads will be used against the American people and others. That's why I'm reaching out to police who understand what's happening, who understand the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution, who understand what's in the Ford Foundation documents, the congressional hearings, and in the WikiLeaks. This is not my opinion. This is an organized criminal operation in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe, and the United States, as well as Latin America and other areas, to attack the police and local government. They get destabilized. The feds come in attacking them, saying it's their problem, it's their fault they're being shot and killed. The answer is federalization, they then say, as Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are on record admitting this whole Black Lives Matter movement is about destabilizing things and then pushing for a federalization / UN takeover of our police. And it's actually happening. And I want to be crystal clear. If I was calling for the cold-blooded murder of police, I would be arrested, and I should be. Now, let's be clear. I don't want to call for the cold-blooded murder of police randomly or for any other matter. I want justice to be done just like I demand justice. But the point is, why are communists all over the United States allowed to promote in minority areas the killing of random police officers for their race? It's being done because they are protected. And this is what the globalists want. And it's called the Strong Cities Initiative. Look it up in their own words, with multinational UN and EU groups coming in and then dictating to the police and local government how they're supposed to capitulate and go under their political commissar policing systems to wage war on property owners, patriots, conservatives, and veterans in exchange for heat being taken off of the police. The globalists, to bring it down to its lowest level, are trying to bully the police and local governments with death squads into submitting to their will and becoming political officers to carry out their operations. The good news is this isn't Ukraine, where Soros was successful 3 years ago doing this, or Syria or other areas. This is the United States of America. And the liberty movement that isn't right or left, but is just constitutional and common sense, has been spreading the word about what these scumbags are doing. And the world is waking up to it and really exposing it and understanding what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not free speech to call for police officers to be murdered. It's not free speech to call for violent revolution. And it's not legal to carry firearms, which they themselves push for gun control, and to have these dirty little scumbag commies out there with semi-auto assault weapons, demonizing the Second Amendment, which they hate, while they menace and threaten everyone and chant about dead police, which is only designed to further demonize the Second Amendment. When you're carrying arms, calling for violence, you are menacing the public and are involved in domestic terrorism. We carry arms peacefully, openly, to promote the idea that we have a right to them that folks fought and died for. Not so little pieces of cowardly trash like the communists, funded by George Soros and the big banks, can run around pissing all over our sacred right. So I'll explain it. Bottom line, the city of Austin and the grand juries, I know are run by the Democrats, but for God's sakes, there's a lot of Democrats still that are decent people. Do not put up with the calls for cop killing or for citizens who aren't communists to be killed. Find your humanity as the district attorney in this town and as the county attorneys and do the right thing and prosecute these communists that are progressively getting more and more arrogant, more and more brazen, and more dangerous. Because I assure you, when they hurt people or when they get hurt, it is going to be the Democratic Party officials that have allowed this to take place who are going to be held accountable. And when more cops die, which is happening all over the state of Texas as we speak, it is going to be you who allowed this criminal activity to take place who will be held responsible. Because I know for a certainty, that the Austin police chief and others have wanted to crack down on this and have been told to stand down. So understand, this is the level of treason we're dealing with. As for the communist, I don't wish you any harm. I hope you wake up from your evil. But I'll give you a warning Christ gave to his disciples. Those that live by the sword die by the sword.
You! Get the out of my face! Get the out of my face!
There you have it. We have some pretty violent protesters here.
Do you ever ask yourself why big corporations, big universities, big governments promote communism as the supposedly avant-garde, cool, trendy thing to do? It's because it is the most failed, corrupt system the world's ever seen. It was declassified in the 70s by the Frank Church Committee and researched by congressional investigator Anthony Sutton that the man behind the Red Scare had actually been right. That, of course, was Senator Joseph McCarthy. That mega banks and the ultra-rich were funding communism to be the failed ideology to challenge their crony capitalist fascistic program. So communism is the failed authoritarian kissing cousin of fascism. Both are absolutely horrible. And we see communists all over the United States adopting the language, the nomenclature of the state, of the government. Within 1 week of Hillary's defeat and MSM calling all other media fake news, we had communists confronting our reporter just this week in Cleveland, Millie Weaver, a woman, threatening to attack her and saying, "Shut up, InfoWars, you're fake news."
We don't talk to fake news and Nazis.
So it looks like these guys are getting pretty heated and violent over here, making some threats.
Yeah, a lot of these liberals may be a bit peaceful, but I'm not. So get the out of here, huh? You're yeah, I do. You're a fucking Nazi.
Your
That's what you are, huh?
presence is a threat.
Get the out
Your
of here.
presence is a threat, and you're coming into our space.
How is your presence not a threat?
Fake news, go home! Fake news, go home!
I mean, I've never seen anyone adopt the talking points of the multinational corporations more quickly than them. None of them talk out of hand. They all repeat slogans. They're almost all the children of weirdo professors and others, and they just want to bring down what's left of the free market because they believe they're going to have this new utopia they set up once they get control. The type of utopias we've seen in North Korea, the type of utopias we've seen in Cuba or Venezuela, the type of utopias we saw in the Soviet Union or Communist China. Communist China with more billionaires than the other country. The generals owning the Foxconn slave laboratories, but never a word out of the Maoist who've personally threatened me in Austin, personally physically attacked me in Austin.
We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life also of Jesus might be made manifest in our body.